Well, we are just days away from the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival. Leading up to it, though, we wanted to get the inside scoop on some of the films that you could be seeing. Documentary director Karen Cho joins us now via Zoom. Karen, I am so excited to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So can you tell us a little bit about your film, Big Fight in Little Chinatown, that will be shown during the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival?
Sure. My documentary film is a kind of a story of resistance and resilience in Chinatowns across North America. It talks about Chinatowns that are, kind of under threat of erasure or endangered in some way, that Chinatowns that face gentrification pressures. But really, it kind of celebrates the resistance of the community and their ability to kind of, map out their future.
This is really
wow, incredible. I'm so looking forward to seeing this film. This is amazing. Well, what shocks me too about this film is that you were able to actually film this. This was all during the pandemic for you, which is amazing. Can you tell me about how it was doing this during the pandemic for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was really challenging, filming during the pandemic just for health and safety reasons. I had a very reduced crew. Often we were just one or two crew members, sometimes just a camera person, sometimes just myself. And then, of course, all the kind of anti-Asian racism that bubbled up during the pandemic really made the story, there was an urgency to tell the story.
Yeah, definitely. I can see how both of those things playing to each other would make it really tough. But you obviously have done something so incredible and so impressive in doing this. I mean, how does it feel to now see this film come to fruition and everybody get to see it at this point?
Well, it's really great to share the film with the community after, we filmed in 5 different Chinatowns for the film, but bringing the film back to the different communities and seeing how much they recognize themselves in the story. And, Chinatown doesn't necessarily have to be your own Chinatown, but so many folks kind of recognize this sense of community and resilience in the film. So it's great to be able to kind of share it back with the folks who gave you their stories to make the film, and to see how special Chinatowns are in cities across North America.
Definitely. Well, Karen, this has got to be huge for you too, because not only are you the director and filmmaker here, but you are also a 5th generation Chinese Canadian. So you, I'm sure, have some ties here. Can you tell me how it is, being able to bring your ties to this film as well?
Yeah, I mean, I am 5th generation, and I have very deep family roots in both Montreal and Vancouver's Chinatown. And, initially I wasn't even going to film in my own Chinatown up in Montreal, Quebec, because it's a smaller Chinatown and there wasn't much happening. But during the filming of the film, the Wings Noodle Factory, which is a factory that my great-grandfather was one of the original partners in that business, like back in the 1890s, that factory got bought out by a major developer, to be kind of turned into a luxury condo project in our Chinatown, and our whole community kind of galvanized to protect the Chinatown and to fight for heritage status. So my own Chinatown and my own family story kind of also, became linked to the filming of the documentary, and it subsequently became a very personal thing for me as well.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Karen, that's huge. Not only, of course, making this film, but being able to continue this legacy that your family left behind. How did your family feel to hear that you were not only making this film, but had such an impact on the Chinatown that you grew up in?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Like, we often take for granted our own family's histories, especially if you come from immigrant backgrounds. And in the Chinese community, a lot of our immigration history is very challenging and very sad. So often, sometimes, elders in your family don't want to share that history to the new generation. So my family was really excited and happy to see the story up on the big screen, and I think all the folks in the communities were so happy to understand. It's really the film is like a love letter to Chinatown, and to have the community recognize these places that we kind of take for granted, being such sacred and special places, and special places for the vibrancy of a city. I think it was really something special in all the cities that we've screened in so far.
Incredible. Well, we are so looking forward to seeing it here. Before I let you go quickly too, I know that there are so many filmmakers and young filmmakers out there who look at you and look at what you've done, and I'm sure are so proud. Any advice you have for them out there?
Well, I think it's don't doubt yourself, like I think you're the master of your own experience. And the films I make do come from a very personal place, because I feel I have a personal kind of point of view on these things. I'm mixed race, my mother is white, my father is Chinese, so I tackle these issues often, kind of comparing what has gone on in both sides of my family. So I think for young filmmakers, it's really not shying away from the unique point of view that you have, and really kind of owning your history, to bring that story forward.
Amazing. Well, Karen, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing the film.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, everybody, you can catch the screening of Big Fight in Little Chinatown on Friday, March 10th at the Sea Film Center during the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival. Check out cdfilm.org to get your tickets and for a full list of events.